you're speaking of the darkness, and I guess a lot of us would probably say we're feeling the darkness in the world at the moment. My energy goes up and down big time. Sometimes I
Yeah.
feel real sticky, and things are flowing nicely in my life, but that doesn't mean that we don't still receive whatever the hell is going on in our field at the moment and in the universe. We receive a version of that. So, got to do all of my grounding work and all of my energy, practicing energy hygiene. I was talking about it at work the other day. That must be an absolute peak. Energy hygiene,
It's good. I like that.
Clean energy. But I heard a story the other day. I was listening to the book that I've mentioned. I think I mentioned it last week, Healing the Shame That Binds You. And a brief summary of the story is that there's a prisoner and he gets locked into a cave, and he's told that there is a way out, but they don't tell him where the way out is, and the cave is in complete darkness, and they lock the cave with a really big boulder. So he's stuck in there. He's blindfolded when they put him in there. So when they lock him in, he takes his blindfold off, and he can't see. So he starts crawling around in the dark, and he does notice there is a hole at the top of the cave, but the cave is, I don't know what he said, like 15 feet high. That he gave feet before. I can't remember exactly what it was. But anyway, he spends 2 weeks trying to build this mound to get to the top. He thinks that's the way out. And so he puts all the rocks and everything and digs this hole has to dig a hole and build this big mound, all with his bare hands, to try and get to the top. And he makes it 3 weeks just before he's about to die of starvation. And he gets so close to the top that he falls, hits the ground and dies.
Great story. Thanks.
Yeah, that's the story. No, not really. So he ended up, the guards come back and they roll away the stone, and they look at what they see. See the dead prisoner there, and what the prisoner didn't see is directly behind the hole in the ceiling where the light was coming through, there was a tunnel that if he crawled 150 feet, he would have been the other side of the mountain and would have found his freedom. So the moral of the story is, he was so focused on the light that he forgot to look in the darkness, which is what would have actually been his freedom, set him free. So, it was a really powerful message, because it really is, a lot of us, we shy away from the pain and shy away from the darkness and shy away from it's what we don't understand. We're fearing it because we're confused. We don't get it. We don't understand it. But that's also a beautiful state where we're about to learn something, that's where we transcend it. We ending the trance. It sort of feels like we're in a bit of a trance still, like we've been in it for a couple of years. I thought that was a really powerful story about leaning into whatever the hell is going on, and maybe not fearing it, because the other thought I had is, I don't want to go into too much religion, but what would Jesus do in this situation? He was getting crucified. We're all scared of getting a vaccine for whatever it is, but I don't know, I was just standing in the shower and thinking about that kind of thing too, of how to deal with this. What the hell are we meant to be doing right now?
Yeah, it's the power of the mind at the end of the day. As to the dark parts of our hero. Part of the hero for us is to actually find what is the journey that we're meant to take in this. And it would be easy for us to just turn and go back to what would be normal, what we would normally do. And then, of course, we've never really learned a lesson. Talking of religion, the children of Israel, they went around the mountain 40 times before they actually learnt the lesson. I don't want to do that in my life. It's been a moral for me, a actual big lesson that I learnt many years ago. I do not want to go around the mountain again. So I always find the way out. But yeah, so finding the answers in the midst of the trials that you go through is a real joy in the journey at the end of the day. But it's a